Okay, hello everyone. This is another oil pastels class. You will be needing all your 12 colors, or if you have a different set, just use your colors. We can always figure out what colors to use if you don't have one. You're also going to need your pencil and paper, and I like to have paper towels for cleaning any of the gunk on the outside. Then you might also want to get just an extra sheet of paper for testing colors or practicing on the side. So this is our photo today. I don't know who submitted it, but May sent this to me. It was one of you guys. So yeah, it's a very lovely mountain and river scene or lake scene with a nice little wooden dock going to. I like this picture a lot. There's a lot going on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sketch the landscape as usual. So we begin with our pencil sketch. Let me know if you cannot see very well. I will push harder. So I would like to start with the horizon line. Just roughly cut across the edge, kind of. Make it a little bit darker. And the next thing, once you have your line, is I like to just do the tops of the mountains. You can sketch anywhere you'd like. It's up to you, but this is my process. I think going from the bigger stuff in the background and then moving forward. So the dip over here is a little bit to the left of the center. So let's put it around here. So make a landmark. And then just roughly, I'm pressing pretty hard. You might want to use your lightest pencil so it doesn't leave too much of a mark. Yeah, don't worry too much about the mountains in the back. Just have the general shape. Of course, the reflection is also the same, but for the reflection, what you're going to do with your sketch is to copy the ripples in the water. So the water is moving. There's these little ripples. When you're sketching, make these soft lines. Kind of like a scribble. So it's not too harsh. Okay, now let's move on to this stuff in the front. So you can get a ruler, but honestly, not even a big deal. So I'm going to start with the dock. This is the dock. There's two parts. There's this rectangle, and then there's also this rectangle. But it's kind of slanted. Maybe 20 degrees, not really sure, but it doesn't really matter. All I know is that it goes to here. So imaginary line, and then make a mark. And then same with this, I like to draw dock, and it's actually quite skinny, this line here. Very small. It looks big, but it's very skinny. And then this one is a little bit bigger than 20, maybe 25 degrees, but still the same. Then draw the side. And there's another box over here. This one's shorter but wider. So shorter but wider. You can see this part stick out. I'm going to start at the top with the same angle. And then draw the bottom of the dock as well. It's kind of weird. It's okay if it doesn't look exactly like the picture because this one, I think it's actually tilted. If you look at this picture, this looks straight, but this looks like it's moved like this way a little bit. Not a big deal. We just want some rectangles on the page. And you can also draw these. Just sketch in a line. You might also want to sketch the reflection in the water, but just outline it. So all right, and then the next thing I will sketch, or next things, will be these two kind of extra details. There's a water plant over here with some grass, and then there is a log or a wooden piece, something floating in the water. This makes the image a bit more interesting, so I would put them in. However, we're not sketching every single leaf, just have the shape of the bush or plant roughly put in. So it's really in the middle, about to the left side a little bit over here. And just like how we did the water ripple, that was little soft lines. Also just kind of softly indicate where you want the edges of the plant to go. I can't really see here, but what I'm doing is I'm pretending that these little marks are my leaves. And you don't want to sketch the whole thing because you will use the colors after to cover it up, so you won't see anyways. And the same thing with the log. Just a very organic shape. Just something that's in the water. Okay, now we are ready for the colors. So I know some of you don't have, I think it's purple. If you don't have purple, just mix red and blue. And some of you might not have gray. Gray is just white and black. Just let me know if you don't have a color. Okay. Okay, so the first color that we'll be putting in is obviously I like to do the background first. So these mountainy colors, I can see a little bit of blue, but this is kind of a green blue. If you took this, wait, that's actually a perfect match. Okay, so let's use this and a little bit of white. Not sure how it'll turn out, but let's see. So with your blue, when you're coloring, remember there's also this patch of trees here in the middle. We're going to avoid that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch using my pastel, just the top of the tree. So I tell myself not to color in the middle. And then do the same for the reflection. Okay, now for the next step, I'm just going to fill in the whole mountain with blue. So just the base color right now, and I'm filling in all of these little white spots. So now it's all filled in. Make sure all of these little holes are filled. But it's okay if you have a little bit of texture. Sometimes my paper is very smooth. It's very, there's no grain. But if you have watercolor paper or if you're using something more with more texture, it will naturally have a lot more of these small gaps, which is okay. So don't worry about that. But let's leave the blue here for now. We're going to touch the reflection later with the white. So let me explain the next step. There's a little bit of this, the mountains fading into the distance. If you can, I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see, but in the picture, you can see there's these the distant mountains. So I'm saying, we're going to use white to create that misty effect. So only in the tops of the mountains, you really see this, not in the middle, but with the white, you can go over this area and just kind of add a little bit of that white definition at the top edge. Can't really see it, but you can always try to press harder to make the white stick out. And this picture is quite interesting because there are no clouds, but the sky looks very white anyways because it's cloudy. What we can do to make the paper not white, because we don't want to leave any empty paper open, is you can take the white, pick up some of the blue in the mountain. So now there's some blue color on my white pastel. You're going to kind of wipe that off somewhere in the middle. It was kind of green for me, but pick some blue from the mountain, add a little bit of blue into the sky. Because over here, there's some sort of a shadow in the cloud. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bit darker than the area around it. And then the next step is, once you have these random spots in there, is you're going to fill the sky with white. When we do this is because when you leave the paper empty, you might get accidental colors in there, and it's going to be very hard to clean it up later. So what we're doing now is you take the white and you want to fill the sky, or wherever this color is, this light color. It's going to be hard to see at first, but I'm just filling out the whole sky with white. And then I'll take the blue again, because I want to make the sky more interesting. You can add a little bit of blue very lightly. Draw in these dark spots in the sky, so it's not just one color. So I've added some blue in there, and then blend using the white. Okay, so now I feel that the blue needs to be a little bit more indigo. So to do that, I'll be using purple. If you don't have purple, you can use red, but use it very lightly and then blend using the blue. So with the purple, I'm just going to go mostly on this side, so on the left side, and just shade on top of the blue. You might have to clean the purple or clean your pastel. Just to make the blue a bit deeper. And then fade it off when you get to the right side. Okay, and now I will be ready to do the reflection. So same colors. Okay, so with the same colors, we're going to create a reflection of the mountain in the water. The same coloring process, but when you get to the edges, do the same motion to copy the ripple in the water. So I'm going to start with the blue. I like to outline the area I'm going to color first. So as you can see at the bottom, I'm starting to do kind of a zigzag. So it's not one line, but many, many, many lines. And whenever you're ready, you can start filling in the reflection of the mountain. Okay, and then the next step is I would use the purple and copy the top and the bottom. If you don't have purple, let's see how the red turns out. I'm not sure if it works. Not really. Yeah, I'll be using the purple, but the red works. Just lightly shade. And a tip is to go in the direction of the water ripples. So if it's going sideways, color sideways. So you get the same texture. All right, the next step is to take the white, and just like how we did the sky, the water also needs to be filled in. So with the white, I'm just going to take a little bit of pressure and go around the edges and bring the blue into the middle, kind of like you're blending it. So white, drag inside. Kind of like that. So I'm only going into the center. Into the center. And just keep pulling this color in. And then fill out the rest. Not sure if you can see this, but what's going on right now is yeah, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take the white and fill out this whole section, even the bottom one too. Okay, back with the white, and I'm going to do this side and pull the color in. So pull the color in. And then now that the edges are all pulled in, I'm going to fill the empty space with white. I'm going to leave the wood, the dock alone, and then also the shadow. So only fill out this area and this area with white. Okay, and now I'm going to put these colors back. The next part we're going to color is the row of trees in the middle. So there's a couple colors in here, but I'm going to pick green, red, and a little bit of black. However, I'm also going to use blue. Yes, blue. So black, red, green, the dark one, and blue. The first thing to do for the trees is to add a little bit of blue. So we all know trees look green, but in this image, they're actually quite aqua or blue colored. So it's very cold. So we're going to take the blue and don't press too hard, just lightly shade in some blue. So just shading like that. And I'm holding my pastel flat on the side like that and just scrubbing. This way our trees do not look too green, but they fit into the environment. The next step is I'm going to take black and The reason is because if you zoom in the picture, the tops of the trees, well, the top of this green space are the trees. And in the middle, we have a light green, kind of like a light green line. This is actually grass. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the black, and on the outside, on the tops and the very bottoms, you're going to add a little bit of black. So kind of like adding a bit of fur on the top. Can't really see it. Let me do it on this side. Yeah, just like almost like fuzz. Some black fuzz on the edges of this line. And then do the same for the bottom. So I'm going from the bottom and pushing the black up, like flick, flick, flick. Okay, and then the next color is green. So with the green, you're just blending the black into the middle. Okay, actually, I do not want to use the red anymore. I'm going to put that back. And I'm going to get a peach color instead. And you'll see what that's for. Before we use the last color, I'm going to take the blue and smudge out the bottom reflection. So the black, I'm going to kind of blend it into the water. So I'm just pulling it down into the water to make it look more like a reflection. And so you can't really tell, but I feel it makes a difference.
Sorry, Jane, is that the peach color you are to pull it down?
Sorry?
Is that the peach color you are using?
Oh, hold on. Let me turn my volume on. I don't know if I can hear. Can you say that again?
For the peach color,
Yes.
what are you using it for?
Okay, so the peach color is, earlier I was talking about this white in the grass. Yeah. I don't like to use white because it's too boring. So the peach is a better option. Yeah. We're going to use that just now. So with the peach color, you're going to draw two lines, but leave a space in the middle. Maybe it's a little bit hard. I have to press quite hard to get that line across. But do you see? It's kind of what's going on is the reflection in when the water hits the land, there's a thin white line that's reflecting the light from the sky. And that's what you see in the photographs. So you'll often see a white line where the water meets the land. Yeah, never mind. Just draw one line using the peach color. You have to press pretty hard. Well, for me, I have to press pretty hard. I don't know why, but maybe because there's a lot of pastel on the paper. Yeah, when the pastel is really thick, it's hard to add a new color. But just go nice and slowly. It doesn't all have to be the same brightness. Sometimes a little bit of difference is good. Kind of like that. Okay, so let's slowly move on to the next part. The mountain in the background is mostly done by now. There's one thing that I want to focus on, and it's this corner over here. So this corner, if you compare it, this color with that color, it's a little dark in the corner here, and I like that. because we like to see darker colors at the bottom. So when we look at art, our eyes, we tend to prefer having darker colors at the bottom. Not all the time, but it's usually true. So what you can do is if you have a gray, you can add a little bit of gray at the bottom and then blend it just to darken this corner. If not, I have some just like extra color on my hand, like all this excess color. You can actually use that and just blend the corner to make it darker. You're taking the extra color from your hand and wiping it on the side.
Hi, teacher.
Yeah.
I don't have the green color. What
No,
can I do?
what you can do is you can mix. This color is kind of gray, but in the water, I think you can use some blue and peach, but very,
Oh.
very lightly, very lightly.
Blue and the peach. Okay.
Yeah, blue and peach. So take it on its side and just gently shade a little bit. So I'm adding some blue right now. You can see that. And then let me clean my peach so it's not too messy. So here's the peach. You can also go over that a little bit.
Okay.
And then you can blend it with some white. It's not a big deal if you don't have it in the corner. I think it's just something interesting to add, right? It looks more like a photograph. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the background and the lake will be done. We're not touching it anymore. The last step is everything in the front. So we're going to put the colors back. Let's find our new colors. So we're going to start with the dock, the wooden piece. We're going to use a combination of brown, blue, and white. My white is a little bit broken. Let me find a better one. So brown, blue, and white. If you have gray, just use gray for wherever you see the gray in the picture. So in here, or in here. But if you don't have gray, we're going to use brown and blue. Okay, let's go. So the first step is I'm going to take the brown and, like using a pencil, shade this part and this part. So there's two dark strips. These are the shadows. So this, and then also here on the other side. It really doesn't have to be accurate. It just needs to be the right darkness. So I'm just shading in some brown right now. And do the same for the other one. Okay, and once you have the base foundation, which is the brown, so once you have shaded in where the darkest parts are, there's only three really. This area, and then this one, and then the sides of the bottom. After that, you're going to take the blue and blend the brown. So blue and brown. So go over wherever you put the brown color. Then with the third color, which is white, you can really blend the two colors together. So on this side, especially because it's lighter, take some white and smooth out the blending. A little bit over here, but not too much. Okay, and now, so what we just did was we added some brown and blue together, which makes a very neutral tone. And then we used white to blend. So this will kind of be the same process for the top of the dog. So back to the brown. I'm going to first, there is a piece of highlight. So this wood is 3D. I'm going to sketch the top of that. So this is the top of the wood plank over here. And everything else, this part where you walk, I'm going to take the brown and very, very lightly add some brown. We're going to make a light brown color. And I'm being very careful to avoid this white area over here. In this part, you don't need any blue. We're just going to blend using the white. Okay, and then on this part as well, same thing with the brown, but mostly in the center. That's kind of where all the people walk, so that's why it's a little bit more dark in the center. So I'm not going everywhere, but mostly just in the center. And same thing, blend using the white. Okay, at this point, I'm going to make a decision because I'm thinking of how we would draw this. Because oil pastel, it's very difficult to put green on top of a darker color. It will not show up. So I'm thinking we don't have to paint this, we don't have to draw this at all, just maybe just the grass down here. So we're not going to make the bush, but you can if you want to. I'm not going to because it seems very difficult to do that. Okay, back to the dock over here. Now we're going to do the shadow. So underneath the dock, there is a very dark shadow. We will be using black and blue. So just those two, black and blue. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the black first and outline the bottom of the dock so we have a very crisp, sharp edge. That with the black. Outline the bottom of this one too. And just fill it in. I'm not pressing too hard. I still want to leave some room for the blue color, but I'm going pretty dark. And then over here, I'm going to take a light green, fill out this corner. Just a little bit, kind of like moss. And then make it a little bit grassy. And then you can also take the black and add a few leaves or grasses. Just have something here so it's not completely empty. So black for the shadows and then a little bit of green in this corner to show some grass. And then now I will take the blue and blend the shadows. So blue in the black. I'm going to get rid of these little holes. Oh, and don't forget the little poles. Forgot about that. So the shadow is just black shading and then blue blending. Now with the white, we're going to make the shadow a bit more interesting as it is in the water. There's still reflection. So if you notice over here, there's a little bit of that white still reflected in the water. So with the white, I just like to make the shadow brighter in some areas. Like that. Just a little hint of white in the shadow. Maybe some here as well, but this one's a little less. Now the last step, if you're ready, is just this chunk of wood floating in the water. And for that, you'll need black and white, and maybe some brown. We'll see. Black, brown, and white. Okay, so for the little log over here in the corner, let me just move it so we can see. I'm going to start with the brown and just kind of add a little bit of random shadows here and there, especially at the bottom of this log. This one's interesting because we can't really tell what it is, but it's a dark object and it's floating on the water. I am really randomly just putting some color everywhere. Just scratching some colors. And then with the black, go over the darkest areas. So especially near the bottom, I'm going to put some black. Because that's where the shadows are. And also a little bit on the top. This looks like it could be a tree root or something like that. And blend a little bit with the white. Not blend all of it, just around the edges. yeah, I think there's really not much more to add. So it will be the end. This is the end of our project.